I've been waiting for my time to talk about Prime when it was relevant again because goddamn, I genuinely hate how such an obvious health hazard of a drink is something that swept entire countries by storm seemingly overnight. Prime, for those of you who may not know in case you were living under a rock for these last couple of years, is a beverage company that is mainly marketed and partially owned by Logan Paul and KSI, who together have 40% ownership of the company, or 20% each. And recently, Prime has been in the spotlight of controversy again as TikTokers made a class action case relevant again. This case was filed back in August of 2023, and as it goes on to state, Prime has been tested to include PFAs, particularly in the grape-flavored variation of Prime. This is pretty huge stuff. Prime has been in some massive controversies in the past few years, such as it containing 2 times as much caffeine as a cup of coffee or Red Bull, or even leading to complete pandemonium in stores for constantly selling out. This controversy is probably one of the worst ones that it's been a part of. You see, if you don't know what PFAs are, then you might recognize them as their boogeyman name, forever chemicals. PFAs, or polyfluoroalkyl chemicals, are known as forever chemicals because they are extremely hard to break down, naturally or otherwise. These are the type of chemicals that are used for things such as heat-resistant cookware or waterproof materials. They're meant to be super resistant to breaking down. So if you were to ingest these things, it could take several years for these things to ever leave your system. In this case by was filed after they discovered these chemicals through a third-party test of the grape-flavored Prime beverage where they discovered this list of PFAs present. Milberg states the potential damage that PFAs can cause. PFAs are known as forever chemicals because they bioaccumulate or accrue in the body over time. These man-made chemicals are well studied and have been found to have adverse effects on the human body and environment. The EPA notes scientific studies showing PFAs exposure can lead to reproductive harm, development delays in children, increased cancer risk, reduced immune system response, interference with the body's hormones, higher cholesterol levels, and obesity risk. The main allegation here is that Prime engaged in unlawful conduct through misrepresentation as they advertised Prime to be a healthy energy drink that contains replenishing nutrients and vitamins, but misled consumers and instead caused economic harm. The website also states this here: the presence of PFAs in Prime hydration renders it adulterated, misbranded, and illegal to sell. The lawsuit also alleges that due to the deceptiveness of this company, it can harm the public at large and creates the potential of future harm due to exposure to PFAs. And if that isn't bad enough, it's also reported that the lawsuit alleges that the amount of PFAs and PFOs present in Prime surpassed the EPA's recommended lifetime advisory by approximately 3 times. I know I did a lot of paraphrasing there, but that's simply to present the information more directly from the sources. Keep in mind, these, per their statements, are allegations, and there is still a lot of information to be investigated before any verdict can come from this. I know during the beginning of the video, I said I wanted to talk about Prime because I hate this drink, but more than anything, I want to talk about misinformation being spread around the internet in regards to this lawsuit.
I never thought that Logan Paul and Forever Chemicals would be in the same sentence, but there's actually a class action lawsuit against Prime Energy and Prime Hydration, which are energy drinks and sports drinks that were made by a company called Prime Energy, owned by Logan Paul. And one of the allegations is that Prime Hydration has PFAS and PFOs, forever chemicals, in them. So this is an ongoing lawsuit, and our office was actually recently contacted by a young boy who has leukemia after drinking Prime Hydration, and PFOs and PFAs have been linked to specific types of cancers.
Some people are alleging that Prime is being sued because it gave this kid leukemia due to the presence of forever chemicals. I mean, while these chemicals are known to cause cancer, they're not going to do that within the time span of 2 years since the drink has been out, regardless of the claimed amount of PFAs present in the drink. And also, the article specifically alleges that the grape variety is the cause for concern, or at least for now it is, so who's to say if this kid has been drinking the grape drink for like the last couple of years? Not to mention, the fact that this is all alleged. There's no definitive information anywhere on the internet to determine whether this is true or not. We only have claims from a litigious law firm who's been involved in all sorts of lawsuits related to this. We don't have any definitive lab results. And look, I really don't like Prime. It's definitely a drink that's cause for concern, that is praised and marketed by some of the most obnoxious people on the planet. But to present all of this as definitive evidence is absurd. I really wanted a huge dead to rights reason to hate on Prime, but the way this information is circulating online is something that kind of grinds my gears. I'm a huge stickler for maintaining informational integrity, so I try my best to maintain reality, unlike other commentary channels out there who misrepresent or exaggerate information. Not to mention, like, the amount of TikToks right now just misrepresenting and stating absolutely false information just for the sake of fear-mongering engagement. So that being said, at worst, I just caution everyone from drinking Prime in case this is true, and be responsible about what you're consuming. We are truly living in an era where a lot of the goods that are on our store shelves and refrigerators are genuinely poison to our body. Prime is a terrible drink, yes, but let's at least keep the story consistent. Prime is not a good source of hydration, and it definitely isn't healthy for you by any means, so it's not like you should be drinking this anyways. The amount of caffeine present in Prime alone should be something that should deter parents and adults alike from purchasing this garbage for their kids. While I really wanted this video to be a reason to shit on Logan Paul and KSI for selling deadly chemicals to kids, I'd rather maintain my integrity instead of dropping to the level of some of these idiotic TikTok engagement farmers. That being said, this was another short video for everyone just to put out some content out to have more consistent uploads. I'm still gonna make some longer, more in-depth videos, but right now I'm dry and have no one to really analyze and criticize. I have some projects in the back burner, so wait for those. Anyways, best comment gets pinned and other funny comments will get a heart, so drop any ideas or people you want a video on and I will see if I can get around to doing that. Also, subscribe because we are almost close to 2,000 subs. We are growing incredibly fast and I want to keep up this pace. Thank you for watching, everybody. Love you all. Later.